against each other, which is something you see a lot between the top couple of teams in Oceania right now.
All right, well, let's see whether or not B&K can put up a bit of a better display here on Mirage, or if it will continue to be Grayhound domination. I'm certainly leaning toward the latter, based on what we've been seeing from Grayhound lately, but B&K will be hoping for the former, and they're going to have to deal with a couple of sets of util again from Grayhound. Two smokes, 3 flashes.
Looks like the classic A smokes to try to pull the rotates away from middle and then maybe try to sneak through unders perhaps, but after a bit of time's elapsed, it does seem like they're reconsidering their options here. Or maybe it's going to be a round reset. It is going to be a round reset.
Yep.
Has
no, it will be Addict. No, Addict's moving as well. Who's having trouble? Everyone's moving.
I think someone had an issue and then might have been resolved, and now they're wondering if it's live or not. Should be a rollback though.
I mean, I think at this point it has to be. Can't continue to play the round out from here, surely. Although, is there a rule that it's like if it's played a certain amount of time? I can't remember, because normally it's if someone's been seen or damaged. Oh, it's getting reset here. But is there a time factor in it as well? Like if a minute and a half of the round has actually played out or something, or a minute of the round's played out, you can't reset it? I can't remember.
I'm not sure. So we're going to fix up that issue. I'm sure there's a referee who knows the answer to that.
Hopefully.
I am not the referee though. Unlucky. But yeah, I mean, we have a bit more time to talk about Mirage. I don't think that you can get much of a heavier stomp than what you saw from Grayhound on the last map. So I'm hoping this one's going to be a bit more competitive, especially because like that Chengdu series that Grayhound barely scraped over the line against B&K last time, that was about a month ago as well. Talking, 22nd of January. So literally a month ago, we're having 13-11, 11-13, 13-16 between these two teams, like going to all 24 plus rounds. And then that game was not particularly close. So, man, I just questioned to myself, like, have we actually seen that much improvement for Grayhound in a month? Or, like, what's going on?
I mean, I would say yes. Like I think I'm looking at it personally, and I'm feeling that Grayhound is playing better. Now I can't necessarily quantify that by saying this or that or whatever, but
yeah,
it's just sort of an eye test thing, if that makes sense. Where
yeah.
Sometimes
I'm
you just
feeling
watch
the same.
Game and you're like they are playing well.
I'm feeling the same, but as someone that's like involved in the improvement process and practice process for a team, I don't think I've seen that much improvement in a month. Like it's like almost a night and day. It's crazy. But I guess that's the benefit of obviously having already played with the player so much before. You've already got that pre-built chemistry. You've already got, the routines and the norms established and all that kind of stuff, to where it might have smoothed over a lot of the initial time that it would take. Maybe some of it could be also honeymoon period. Maybe some of it could also be a lot of different factors that are not necessarily related to how much have they practiced to leading to their improvement,
Well, one thing that we haven't really discussed, or one person that we haven't really discussed, is Urcast. Obviously, I feel like he's kind of like in the shadows now for Grayhound and sort of forgotten about in a sense, because Grayhound haven't had a coach for such a long time. We're not really ever used to discussing a coach from their perspective, but I mean, he's another addition to this roster. It's still only relatively fresh, probably 3-4 months now. Maybe he's been with that team. I can't remember exactly when it was that he quote unquote got signed or was officially announced or whatever, but it would have been around the same time, just before Dexter, if I remember correctly. So late last year. And again, we can put a lot of this down to Dexter and his impact, but who knows, maybe Urcast is sort of slaving away in the background as well, and he's helping the guys kind of get caught up to speed. Is he someone that's poring over the European demos or whatever it may be, coming up with some of these util sets and stuff like that we've seen from Grayhound that is kind of impressing us? That's definitely a possibility. Or is he maybe working on an individual level with certain players and helping them to kind of get accustomed to new roles, because you'd imagine that things are kind of shifting around in that respect as well a little bit when Dexter comes back and has to sort of fit in. So there's a lot of factors, and it's hard to say from the outside as to what it might be. And I'm sure it's not just one thing. It's not just, this happened, therefore Grayhound good. It's probably a multitude of factors. But at the end of the day, what we can comment on is the result. We can't say so much about the method. Don't question the method necessarily. Question the result. And right now, the result is looking quite good for Grayhound. So we'll get into the piss around here of Mirage, and hopefully this one will actually be able to play out, which is looking fine to do. So Grayhound, as you said, doing those A smokes.
I find it quite funny that they've gone for the same strat again, especially given how much time elapsed between the resetting of the game. Counter flash comes out, 3-man A setup. They punish the window boost as well. Hazel was far too ready for that over on ladder position, and it feels like B&K are doing okay against this. At least 2 for 2 early on. Bombs being dropped in A ramp here. This round's getting messy.
Yeah, Liaz has got a bit of space though in jungle, and that's going to cause some problems. ALISTAIR also making a lot of noise in the underpass here, and Liaz aware of the player in connector. This is starting to get a real messy round, but Liaz is connecting his headshots with that block and making it look pretty solid still for Grayhound. Inns should be able to get the bomb plant safe. And it's up to Liaz now to just try to survive as Hatch still try to chase him down, but Liaz again goes one better. And he has, I think, also had a bit of a resurgence in this roster, right? I feel like Liaz, often you looked at him and it felt like he was maybe taking a bit of a back seat in the previous iteration of Grayhound, and I've seen a lot of good individual maps from him actually here over the last couple of months as well, and that kind of has me excited too, because you know he was such a storied player in the region as well, and it's kind of nice to see his uptick as well alongside the team.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's been pretty good, like, since coming into Grayhound, to be honest. I feel like his form has been pretty good in the rosters, at least domestically. Anti-eco now for Grayhound though. He's going to smoke off the ladder room and go to take these duels with the Bricks players. There's a big stack over on this B side of the map, so you can hear that the USP's starting to dish out some dinks, and Attic not quite able to slip through the smoke on the right timing. So 4 players surviving, pretty good result has to be said there for Grayhound, and especially given the fact they're going up against the A1S buy here. They're going to be quite happy they're bringing 4 rifles to the party.
Well, first bite at the cherry for B&K. Weren't really able to convert too much in that first map, but here on map 2, perhaps their fortunes will change up a little bit. It's going to be the early molly to A main. No rush allowed for Grayhound. Not that they were looking for it anyway. They're actually fast through mid. Look at how quick Dexter's up short. Not that that's really going to have much of a factor on this round, but he's found a pick over toward B. And in fact, maybe I'll eat my words, because that's going to be the instant rotate away from A, over toward B. Dexter's got full B control, and Grayhound are well on their way.
Yeah, util locking the CTs out of B market for the time being. What's going to be the move here for B&K? They don't have, you know, this perfect information like we have on the stream. That goes without saying. So they didn't know just how easy it would have been to actually try to shove market there and try to retake the big site before Grayhound got in position. So they didn't even choose to test it. And it's good that they did it for the most part, because as soon as someone tested Dexter for the second time this round, was an instant headshot for the Galil. Grayhound even setting up to potentially hunt some extra rifles out of the hands of the CTs here.
I mean, why not? You could actually get upgrades too. Like, these Galils can be turned into M4s.
For sure. Big hunt coming on here.
Dropping his smoke. He'll be able to survive. Vex sights on 1 HP. Dexter doesn't check underneath balcony, and it looks like B&K will get away with 1. So that's all good. Oh, nope. Never mind. Not even. That's all good for Grayhound. I was going to say that's all good for Grayhound anyway, because they were able to get at least 1 M4 out of it and took 2 AKs through, but it gets even better there by removing Addict's M4 right on the 11th hour as well. So that is bad news indeed for B&K.
That's something I've noticed about Grayhound as well with the addition of Dexter. It feels like they have multiple players at the moment who can kind of pull the rotation back to the other side and call the audible. That's a nice shot from Addict. Mid-air deke shot. He gets insta-traded. So ALISTAIR's got it under control. Those are the kind of flourishes that you see from Addict sometimes. Maybe it's multiple players of B&K feeling quite handy with the Deagles today. Into a 3-on-3 now. Should still be recoverable for the T side here, but Liaz is juggling guns around. This is all heard by PZ.
This is
B stack on B as well.
crazy round. Every single shot that's been hit on both sides has been a pretty sharp shot. Anyway, Dexter. Oh, that's a lot of damage onto Hazard. Courtesy of the grenade. But PZ's been able to find himself at least an AK. He's also got a lot of information that there's not much happening over toward A. So we'll communicate that to Brace and Hazard and say you guys can be happy to sit tight over toward B and expect some resistance over there. Worst case scenario, maybe PZ gets away with the gun here. Best case, Hazard's able to pop another head or Brace. There's one. Have another one. Let's see what Brace can do. 2v1 on the site right now. PZ is scurrying across. And if Brace can survive, maybe there's still a chance here for BNK. Oh. He wanted to deny the bomb plant. Lias was prepared for that. Swung, finishes off one, but loses his life. And now PZ, with that retrieved AK, could still make some magic happen here for BNK. ALISTAIR is not the kind of player that will shy away from the fight, and maybe he should have, because this round, at the very least, will go the way of BNK.
Sharp deagling across the board. Nice little 2K to close things down for PZ. You can see the talent, the potential that is there. The rechargeable Zeus as well. Worth mentioning. Not something we've seen too much yet from, but
yeah,
I think... How much does it cost now? Is it still...
I think it's the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not a Zeus buyer. I actually couldn't tell you.
They keep... like, I Googled it, which is... It actually makes me feel... As an ex-competitive player, like, of... At least in Go... That makes me feel bad that I now have to Google what the price of something is in current day. But when I Googled it, it just told me how much the skins cost. So thanks, guys. You've ruined my day.
That's inflation, mate. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Well, Grayhound, hopefully they're going to shake that last round off as well. Because, look, a very good round from BNK. The individuals firing nice shots, obviously. But you need to do a little bit more than that to really trouble Grayhound, because they're right back in with another bite.
Yeah, I mean, their money's kind of skew-if, though. Reset potential on both sides could be a pretty important swing around for both teams. Hazard left on his lonesome. Often doing the anchoring work here for the BNK side. We've gathered a fair bit of info. In comes the B split, though. Rotation's out of position. That means Hazard on an island on this B site and can't get a clean shot across until he finds Liaz there. No one's scaling out, but Dexter, again, this dude... As the one in the 1-4, always just finds so many kills on the rotation in middle, and that cuts any help that Hazard could possibly have on that B site away from him, and it's just a two-man save for BNK. Like, these rounds feel helpless, bro.
Yeah, unless someone's a miracle worker for BNK, like Hazard was in the previous round through Deagle headshots. Just doesn't seem like there's much in this matchup for BNK.
It's like the rotations were already out of position, and he's like, he was alive for a good while. He got the entry player, and then he's alive for a good 15 to 20 seconds. Unfortunately, when both of your rotations get picked in middle, there's no help coming, bro. Man's holding down the Alamo with no help.
Insult a bit more damage there, but no one peeking. Grayhound will let BNK keep the last couple of weapons. But 4-1, it seems like we're following a very similar trajectory to the last map. Grayhound on top early and not easily letting that slip.
Okay. We go again. Saved rifles. 2.9 loss bonus CT side. Grayhound, a lot of late rounds ending in B the last few, so they're going to change things up. Head back towards that A side of the map, getting the A execute prepped and ready. BNK already in retake positions, having taken middle here.
Back site. Again, another entry for Grayhound. This time he'll lose his life to the spam through the smoke. But it's not of major concern. Grayhound are able to get that bomb plant down, and once again in control of another round. They've got Connector Well, maybe not anymore after Dex has been picked off, but still 3 players to dig out here. Only a util to assist, but you got to get past ALISTAIR. While he hasn't been quite as fancy as what he was on Vertigo, he's still putting in some good work in this round with that opening duel there, bringing it back to 3-on-3. Liaz close behind the smoke. You've got to get a lot of value out of that before it fades. Missing a couple of those shots. The spam through eventually will connect. And that's going to be the round done and dusted. He's going to have to try to scurry to save his life. He will just about get out of there, but decides to go back for more and takes ins as well. So that's overall at least a successful save from PZ, but again, another round for Grayhound.
Yeah, loss bonus looking interesting here for BNK, especially given the fact that they took all of these guns away from Grayhound in the previous 1400 loss bonus. There's potential to put something together there, but I also don't mind the Hero M4 and Deagles around the ult. PZ continually buying the Zeus, which does cost. I mean, I'm assuming... bloody hell. I'm assuming $300. I'm probably wrong, though. I remember it being 200.
Don't worry, you're pretty little ahead about that one, Pilski. Don't worry about the AWP on the other side. PC, he might have had another chance there on Talias, who just decided to stand and deliver. 19 HP there for PZ. He's got to keep fighting, though. BNK with a good chance of holding on to this site until those 3 frags come through. They had the numbers on the site, but not really enough to trouble Grayhound in the end. So Addict with the AK is the last man standing for BNK in round 7.
I mean, it was only a half buy, so at the end of the day, gonna buy up into the next on full loss bonus anyway. Addict wanting to hold on to the AK though with the one-shot potential. The repeat on both sides of things. ALISTAIR on the trade though. And look, Grayhound, these are some expensive rounds they're making their way through, but up 6-1. They're not too perturbed about that. The two sides going as they would have wanted. There is a road back into this half, though. Minimum loss bonus here for Grayhound. Tack timeout for BNK. I think they recognize here, if they could just put in 2 good gun rounds here, they can break the T-side economy, and this could be a lot closer for a half than it is right now. They've been keeping these rounds close. That's what I was saying. Compared to on Vertigo, where the rounds were a whitewash, and I think at a similar scoreline here, Grayhound had about 10 grand on a lot of the players. These rounds have been much less close. There's been a lot more hunting from Grayhound and throwing guns away. And as a result, there is some degree of reset potential here for BNK to realize if they could put a couple of good gun rounds together. Double AWP comes out. That's a change up here for BNK. See if it's going to be effective for them and get them off on the right foot to try to start to close this half of Mirage.
Double AWP. So they're going to play aggressively toward mid here, BNK. Couple dropping down into connector. And Hats on the right side of window. Ali, this time, this is a shot. And of course, you'll be punished for that when he's out in no man's land. Vexite looking to salvage and has been able to do so pretty effectively. Backs up behind the mid progression smoke.
Yeah, you got an AWP on either extremity and 3 CT riflers fighting middle. BNK in the meanwhile evacuate through underpass and get the flank on through TV room, but you can already see Dexter's aware of that. It's still critically important in this round. Embrace jumping up on the couch. Dexter puts him down. Man advantage for Grayhound. Also taking all of that info away from BNK. Hazard goes looking for it in middle, but all he finds is Vexite in the side of the head. Just feels like all of the critical junctures in this round that could have really turned the tail of this half for BNK are going horribly wrong. That's just down to Grayhound punishing and putting themselves in really good positions and just being so clued on and aware to what the CTs are doing at a certain point in the round. Saw a similar thing on Vertigo. There was one round where they're up, I think it was 4-on-2 on the B side, and they're still playing anti, still recognizing that the CTs have to force something. Vexite's found Addict. PZ, a chance to pluck one of the T's out before this A hit actually comes in. Missed opportunity there.
Yeah, now with his position known, it'll make it much more difficult for BNK to have any success prior to that bomb plant going down. And probably even post the bomb plant going down as well. In fact, BNK have more or less elected to give this round up as well. which is a pretty bitter pill to swallow. You're now down 7-1, and it's allowing Grayhound to build the money back up, get into a more comfortable position, and we're kind of running out of rounds in this half to play with. So kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't in terms of going for that retake or giving it up. Every chance they still lose their guns here as well, because Dexter is well and truly on the hunt. Waiting for a little bit of assistance from Liaz before he really holds that W key, but he did find Addict in the end, so just the AWP going through. And Grayhound creep one step closer to securing back-to-back wins tonight.
Some kind of half buy around the AWP yet again here for BNK. Try to steal around away from Grayhound if they can. Gonna be a 1-1-3 to kick things off. Vexite already across to the tap. Pressure out a ramp from the rest of Grayhound. Looking for a pick on the stairs player. Palace is thoroughly smoked at this point.
Vexite. Might have bitten off more than he could chew, but Addict hasn't been able to capitalize on that good flash that was tossed, and Grayhound yet to even lose a player until PZ strikes, and he almost doesn't even get away with his life. AK is retrieved by Hats for all the good it's going to do, because Dexter will just walk straight through that smoke and take it away from him again. And even now, Grayhound have to go back all the way into T-spawn to collect the bomb. Round is basically over. 1 minute still left, though, and PZ not going to be getting out of this one alive. There's just no way. It's knife time. You know, it's Liaz. You know what he's going to do. And that is insult to injury for BNK in what is amounting to be a very difficult night.
Yeah, another half buy goes by the wayside. Just not a particularly close half of Counter-Strike, similar to Vertigo. Like I said, they had their chances if they just converted one of these important gun rounds. Could have got back into this game, but yeah, just nothing awe-inspiring from anyone on B&K, really. Not a whole lot of impact. Goblin and HE. Double nade into window. Tag up Addict a little bit. There's the mid crunch. Flush up over the top with the double cat swing.
He's going to go straight through another smoke. This time it won't work out for him. Trades on offer though for Vexite and ALISTAIR. And just when it starts to look like it might go a little bit pear-shaped for Grayhound, they still come up with the goods.
Yeah, Braces picked the B lurker though. Could turn this one around. It's a 3-on-3. Two players quite low for Grayhound after their wars in mid. ALISTAIR's going to lead the charge back towards the B side of the map. They're a little cognizant of the fact that the B anchor may have pushed after picking that lurker, so they're going to have to clear B halls. BNK not getting any contact towards middle, any contact towards A. It's going to prompt the rotation across from Addict. Needs to be careful he doesn't get caught on the cross. ALISTAIR might just post on the market cross here if he's not careful, but finds the timing well.
Oh, ALISTAIR. Oh, doesn't quite land that shot either. Addict will get away with one, and PZ ignored on short. So it leaves ALISTAIR alone. He's pretty good in the clutch usually, but this one feels like it should be too much. The smokes are obscuring his vision. The Molotov is going to fizzle, so that'll give him a little bit more space to play with, but bad news, Kangaroos know exactly where he is. That scope sound has been heard, and Addict will execute him. So a second at least for BNK in the first half.
Doing some salvage duties. Double AWP retained as well, which wasn't too successful for them before, but they're potentially going to give it another crack here. See if they do go for the same setup here again, putting the AWPs on the extremities and playing the rifle core towards middle. Quick smoke to window and top mid here for Grayhound. Jump up onto cat for Addict. Can't see through the smoke for now, and mid going to be forfeited by Grayhound as ALISTAIR just posts on the line with the AWP. Grayhound start to work their way towards underpass. Ooh,
The
nice
snake's gonna be a
AG.
good one. Oh, yeah. We'll take it. Brace even working to try to clear out main. Hatters finish the wins. And that'll set things up perfectly for Brace because Dex is expecting to have to fight Hats there. In the end, this round is going swimmingly for BNK. PZ's in a bit of trouble here, but he'll get some help. And now it's on to ALISTAIR and Vexite to cause a bit of a ruckus. Still a player in the window, and that will be more than enough to deal with ALISTAIR, though Vexite is on the warpath at the moment. He's going to jump for info, doesn't see anything on short. He'll try his luck in connected through the smoke, and might just get PZ, though. PZ with the USP was watching. And 8-3 now the scoreline. 1 round left to play in the half. It's looking a little better for BNK now, but they really do need that 4th.
Yes, doing some salvage duty, scraping their half together. It's good to see. By looking a little lackluster for Grayhound, missing a couple pieces of U-tilt. Down to a Tech 9 and a Galil is not ideal, but still definitely workable. Had to twist his ankle, falling into underpass there. Double molly onto top mid. Looking like Grayhound maybe apply some pressure towards B. And then try to go for this A timing this round. They've lost mid control, and BNK getting a lot of info in that part of the map right now. And Vexite goes down before he can even really do much.
Pop flash in there from Dexter. It's not quite going to catch Hazard, who holds the line with the Yorp quite comfortably indeed. And now we really just need to see a bit of magic from the Grayhound individuals. Doesn't look like they're going to get given their chance. Leah's just going to work his way out into Sandwich as some util is tossed over by ALISTAIR. There's Brace. Is stuck behind the boxes. But having now given away his position, oh, he's going to have to work hard for that kill. Gives up a lot of HP. And that's it, done and dusted. 8-4. Decent salvage from BNK in the first half. Well, things are looking maybe a little bit better for B&K than they did on map 1, but still you can't be super excited about that first half. 4 rounds only. It's going to need a fair bit of chasing. Grayhound, yeah, again, maybe a little bit more shaky than in that first map, but only if we're kind of grasping at straws.
Do here for B&K then. It's like a double smoke being thrown from the ledge there by Addict, and it's going to be a Palace pop. 2-man retake for Grayhound.
Double smokes over there from B&K. Pretty standard stuff. The wall getting set up. So unable to connect onto too much, but hoping that the push is going to come through to CT spawn, because ALISTAIR is there ready to assist, though. He's been fully flashed out. And now it really is onto Dexter, who's going to get a helping hand from Liaz. The spam with that USP. Good enough for 2, and he's actually got a 3rd on the way out there as well. Jeez, he's having a good time lately with the pistols. Then there's ins up from stairs to ensure the numbers are comfortable for Grayhound. Vexite to get the final kill, and that is the pistol in the second half going the way of the CT side. That said, bomb plant for B&K, and we all know what that means.
Okay, round 2 fourths. So we go again. Another pretty competitive round going to be on our hands. Another chance for B&K. It's one of the biggest swing rounds you can win as well. Definitely a chance for them to get back into the game. They can make good use of it. 5 Galils. Pretty limited util. Going to be 4 smokes and a flash. So definitely this kind of dry contact swingy style. That'll be the name of the game here for B&K. Up comes out for Dexter again. I've seen this a couple of times from him. Seems to be a weapon of choice. Smoke to window. Dexter, or rather ALISTAIR, caught trying to jump out early on here. Means one of the rifles going to hit the deck. I think it was a scout maybe. Atlas push. Oh, the jiggle is beautiful from Dexter there. And then the Ferrari peak around the corner.
Alright, well, Hats. Let's see what he can do. Apparently he can do a fair bit. There's a good kill on the ins, but pretty easily traded in the end by Dexter. It's a lot of map control and a lot of information for Grayhound off the back of this push from Vexite, who's gone all the way through T-Apps and now into T-Spawn. He's not seeing anything. Liaz is kind of floating around near mid as well and hasn't been hearing too much. So I think Grayhound are painting themselves a pretty solid picture of what's to come.
Mid timing could be huge. Liaz from ladder could really kind of dismantle this round. The flank from Vexite as well. Looks like it's all going to come unraveling here for the T side. Trigger discipline for a moment there. Vexite aware could be another player in Palace, and indeed is ready for him. No head armor on Brace. It's too easy of a kill. And the Galil Force, which looked promising initially, has kind of been slapped away quite quickly by Grayhound there.
Yeah, it's sliding in the same direction. Gonna have to be the save from B&K. And it's starting to get a little bit out of hand. I'm not sure that we're going to see a miracle in this round. I mean, there was a nice little eco round win for B&K in the last half, but that was Deagles, and I think there might have even been an M4 saved in that round as well. In this case, just a couple of P250s and 1 Deagle. It doesn't really leave you with a whole lot to play with.
Ince has barely seen anyone's game, so he really wants some eco frags if he can find them. Being set up well by the utility from the teammates. That cheeky off angle by ALISTAIR as well. And looking like this round. He made the dropping up of the players for Liaz and Ince to get a okay, doubling his kills for the game here. He saw 2 people in total the first half, I feel like.
Do be like that sometimes.
And first gun round and maybe last gun round at the T side here for B&K if this game keeps going the way it's going. Ult comes out for PZ. He's taken that over to Palace, so May look for the aggression timing and then in the mid round try to find the players rotating around jungle side or on stairs perhaps.
Bit of a jump spot from Dexter. Not giving too much of an opportunity for BNK to pick him on that information. But no one's even going for it. BNK very spread across the map at the moment. Bomb's rotating its way back in through T-spawn toward A. It's going to be an A split, there's no doubt about that. Looks like Grayhound are pretty well set up to deal with that. I mean, you've already got ALISTAIR in the window, basically, plus a player in jungle, and then 2 on the site as well. If this goes A for BNK, they're going to be running into pretty much 4 out of 5 of the Grayhound members.
Oh, they think they've cleared ladder. ALISTAIR cleverly dodging the flash rather, damaging up the opponents. Dexter's able to go 1 for 1. But Inz is still alive here on the balcony.
It's just nothing to write home about for BNK, is there? They've kind of walked straight into the stack, and that's what happens. Drop through from Hats. But Inz and ALISTAIR will make it look clean, and that's 12-4.
Yeah.
This has been an incredibly easy night for Grayhound.
That's just a swing, immediate swing off of Inz's contact under balcony. No one even peeks stairs. They're all sitting in waiting for Inz to make contact on the first player. And as soon as he does, it's a triple swing. Double from stairs and the CT player out onto the ramp contact as well. Spy looking pretty pathetic as well for BNK. 4 players without head armor. Not that that's going to matter too much against anyone but Dexter. The real issue is the lack of grenades, and they're going to have to dry swing middle.
Easy. He'll get run boosted, but Vexite's good enough to spray transfer that and gets himself a couple of AK headshots, which pretty much seals the deal here. BNK down to just the remaining 2 members. Now 1 addict. They know as well where he is, the nade, at least indicating as much. And ALISTAIR will get the trade for in, so that's that. 13-4. Marginally better, it has to be said, for BNK as opposed to the 13-3. But at the end of the day, Grayhound get themselves a very straightforward 2-0 tonight, and it's a fantastic sign heading into the Asia RMR.
It is, and that is the gap right now between Australia's best team and Australia's arguably second best team. That is a big, big gap right now, and that kind of shows you the level of form that Grayhound is in right now. I'm really interested to see.